Who is Lucifer, really? To summarize what we have gone through so far, the occult elite is consciously using large-scale negativity to pollute the collective consciousness of the planet. This poisons the pool and splits everyone being born into a soul/ego duality. This sense of separation and isolation is the true underlying cause of all unhappiness and inner suffering. Even if you have managed to develop a rather decent and healthy personality on top of the alter/ego core, there is always something there that's not quite right. You can never really feel fully content or fulfilled, no matter what you achieve or gain in life. This deep-rooted sense of separation and isolation drives people to seek for solutions in all sorts of addictions and obsessions. Some people spiral into self-destruction or violence, while other people build empires in an attempt to fill the void they feel inside. Others again live their lives in quiet desperation or manic, shallow happiness. Here is the crucial point. The occult elite is actually worshipping the core of the alter ego, personified as Lucifer. As we know from mythology, Lucifer is the rebellious fallen angel cast out of heaven that is in opposition to God. This is actually a very accurate analogy of what happens to everyone after physical birth as the ego is born. The soul casts out a part of itself that becomes the ego. At the core, this ego is infuriated and inflamed like a wrong child because it has been cast out in perceived isolation to act like a shield for the mass consciousness, trauma and negativity, and the slings and arrows of life. In most normal people, this inner rebellious narcissistic child is contained to various degrees, although it can rear its ugly head sometimes when it's triggered. Many times it can also be the deepest motivation behind seemingly good causes or good intentions, as is the case with the majority of the leftist liberal political correctness movement. From its deep dark throne in the unconscious, Lucifer operates in the subconscious regions and in the shadows of our minds, pulling strings and levers we might not be aware of unless we pay close attention. A mature and sound person has developed a well-functioning cage/personality to contain this narcissistic inner rebel, but he's still there deep inside, raging and constantly scheming and looking for ways to exert his influence in unobserved moments. In certain people, serial killers and psychopaths for example, this inner rebellious and scornful avenger has the ability to take completely over the show and to express its inflamed satanic rage in destructive ways upon the world. The same, of course, is true for the occult elite who worship this inner narcissistic rebel. They partake in abusive ritualistic ceremonies in order to be consumed and possessed by its destructive forces. If you have ever seen a person's eyes turn pitch black in rage, you'll know what I'm talking about. So, by poisoning the well of the mass consciousness, the occult elite are making sure that the God they worship is in fact implanted at the very core of everyone's personality structure as the gatekeeper to our true beingness, as a gatekeeper to our soul. How is that for black magic for you? Of course, you could argue that it's their god, Lucifer, who is acting through the occult elite, doing all this negativity to make sure to perpetuate itself. But that's a chicken and egg argument we'll not go into at this time. It's sufficient to conclude that fighting the elite only on the physical level is not enough. The battle runs through each and every one of us, and it is truly a battle of our soul. In the next chapter, we will discuss the second major black magic trick that the occult elite has used against us.